Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your host, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? Happy Sunday to you guys. You're checking out a all-new RCWR show this beautiful Sunday afternoon of June 16th, 2024. You guys had voted on the YouTube Communities tab, so to those of you that have voted, I do appreciate you guys. Always make sure you're showing love over on the Communities page of our YouTube channel, because I'm usually picking you guys' brain on some stuff that I need help with, especially when it comes to some programming scheduling. But you guys voted and you said that you wanted your WWE Clash at the Castle post show to be either late Sunday morning or afternoon, and that's what we're doing for you guys right now. So I'm live for the next little bit talking about Clash at the Castle. Man, I did have the opportunity to watch it. It was so funny too, because originally I thought that the pay-per-view was coming on at 1 in the afternoon. So I literally had set my alarm to remind me, because sometimes going into the weekend, I like to sleep in a little bit late. I mean, who doesn't, right? Especially if it's a case where, for me in that instance, I didn't have to be to work until 4 in the afternoon. So usually a Friday night going into Saturday, I like waking up a little bit late in the afternoon. Not too late, but if I can do 12:30, 1 o'clock, cool. So I set it up, I turn on Peacock, and I'm going, where is the pay-per-view? What's going on here? And then I find out, no, it actually starts at 2 o'clock. I'm going, oh, I was under the impression the whole time, 1 o'clock, and I was going to be able to watch the entire event uninterrupted. So I literally had to watch the Bayley versus Piper Niven match. And thank God I've got a car mount. But I had to watch that while I was on my commute to work. And then I had to watch the main event match, Drew McIntyre taking on Damian Priest. I had to watch that while I was officially on the clock. Yeah, your man is pretty good at switch tasking, multitasking, right? But look, when it was all said and done, I enjoyed the pay-per-view for what it was worth. I must admit, it seems that every single time WWE is doing these events overseas, it's great to experience these wrestling events in the eyes of our friends overseas, because Lord knows they really do not get WWE to come through enough, be it live event tour, or in this case, for pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever they want to call them these days. I still think of them, and I probably will always think of them as a pay-per-view, because that's just how it is, or was, when I was growing up. So it's kind of hard to get that pay-per-view terminology out of the vocabulary and all that. But I see some of the chatter out there in regards to the Scotland fans for Clash at the Castle. Some folks felt that the crowd was just hijacking the event for themselves throughout the night. Some felt that this was just a little bit redundant. I know some even jumped out there and said, look, man, we've got these fans that are paying X amount of money, and all they want to do is hijack the show and let it be about themselves. They pretty much are trying to get themselves over, and they aren't getting the matches over. What the hell? I hear a lot of that chatter and everything, and you guys know me by now if you've been checking out the show for a long time. I don't check out these shows, these pay-per-views, because I'm curious what the fans in attendance are going to say and they're going to do. I don't care for that. What I care about is what is happening in that squared circle and if the men and women are telling the right kind of story. And to a small degree, maybe about 5%, I'm curious if that crowd is into what those people in the ring are doing. Because a lot of times, if you just solely rely on the crowd, you miss a whole lot of things, let me tell you. Let's jump right into the card. By the way, before I go any further, Big E, Kevin Owens, they did a fantastic job with the pre-show. Fantastic job with the pre-show. I'm actually glad that despite the fact that I thought that the pay-per-view was going to start at 1, but it ended up starting at 2, I'm actually glad that I watched the pre-show because once I saw it on, part of me was going, ugh, and I literally was about to change the channel, go make some breakfast, maybe even roll over, get a little bit more Z's. But once I saw Big E and Kevin Owens doing their thing as part of the pre-show panel, kickoff panel there for Castle, I said, no, okay, this is actually good. Let me see what's going on. I have praised the work of Big E as a commentator, as a co-host with these kickoff shows he's been doing as of late. And I thought the chemistry between KO and Big E was really good. I stuck around for that whole hour just to hear them going back and forth with their banter. Big E brings such a great bolt of chemistry, energy, swag. He really helps keep the kickoff show moving along. I can't think of the name of the female that they got right now because they've swapped out so many times. I want to say her name is Jackie Redmond, brunette, nice looking face. I don't know. She kind of looks like maybe she's done a little bit of too much Botox for my personal liking, but to each its own, right? That's whatever your preference is, whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. But she's got that nice, pleasant, don't get me wrong. She's warm. She comes off pleasant, but it's not enough to really. She needs guys like Kevin Owens, Big E. She needs guys like them to help carry the big brute of the load. And KO, Big E did just that. I definitely love the fact that WWE is tapping more and more into my man, Big E. It still brings the question, though, of what I had talked about a couple of weeks ago, which is, okay, if you eventually pull the trigger on Big E as a full-time color commentator, first of all, where are you going to put him? Second of all, who are you going to replace if that? Or are you going to make it be a 3-man booth? I would like to believe that in the interim, and that could be anywhere from 3 months, 6 months to a year, I'd like to believe that in the interim, it would likely be a 3-man booth so Big E could really learn from his other 2 shipmates. That's what I'm going to call them today. So I think it's safe to say that Pat McAfee, Michael Cole over on Raw, that's a lock. Like, you don't need to add a 3rd man to that. They are just fine. You've got Corey Graves, Wade Barrett. I could see Big E being put in the middle there. I could legit see something like that happening. Big E on NXT. If you maybe want to take a break from Booker T, look, there's a decent amount of people that have had enough of Booker T's antic shenanigans, commentary. Some would even say commentary. You call that commentary? I think Big E would be a big level up from Booker T. But marinating on that, for you guys that check out the kickoff shows and all that, marinate on that. Get back to me. Let me know what you think about the idea of Big E possibly commentating for NXT or SmackDown. Or if you honestly feel he's not quite ready yet, let him continue to do the kickoffs. You can let me know that as well. Let's go to the actual card. Kicking things off was our I Quit match between AJ Styles and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. My, what a difference about 24 hours make. I'm going to knock out two birds with one stone right here while I'm talking about this match. This first part, I want you guys to have in the back of your head because we're going to circle back to this later on. I noticed this in real time, by the way, and that is when AJ Styles made his entrance. He's chatting it up with the referee, and the referee is physically gesturing to him something, top rope. I thought that was kind of peculiar, what was going on there. Part of me was wondering if the referee was trying to bring something to AJ's attention, or if it was a situation where maybe the referee was just trying to give AJ some last-minute audibles. Happens sometimes, right? But in either case, we go right into the match. I thought it was a great companion piece to what they did a couple of weeks ago at the last event. I thought it was great. I thought the match was great. I loved it. I appreciated the fact that Mama Rhodes got involved once again. Mama Rhodes, she's got to calm herself down, though, because seeing her slap the living hell out of AJ Styles repeatedly, one of those times she looked like she was getting her jollies off because she just had this big old smile on her face. And I don't mind her smiling, but it just seemed a little bit sick, perverted that she's just smacking the hell out of AJ. And she's just got this big old grin on her face, and she's loving it. But I love Mama Rhodes. Mama Rhodes reminds me of the old school vintage fan from back in the day that would get so physical, so into it. If you're a fan of Showtime at the Apollo from back in the day, you know there was that one elder woman that used to sit front row. And man, if you could get her up out of your seat and praise your act, that was a great sign that she could essentially, because she was an influencer. Wow, who the thunk it that back in the 80s, 90s, that something like that, the original influencer, social influencers back then. But if she liked your act, she would get up, she would praise you. That would make the other crowd, the rest of the crowd, take notice, and they would join as well. And they pretty much would usually go the way that she's going. But man, if it was the opposite and she didn't like your stuff, woo, she'd let you hear about it and all that. So when I see Mama Rhodes, I kind of have a flashback to stuff like that and everything. She played her role perfectly well. I personally felt as AJ was just egging on, he's not quitting because of you, right? He's continuing on because of you, right? What do you got to say to that, Mama Rhodes? I loved how he kept egging on, and she's just literally jumping over the guardrail barricade, talking trash at AJ. Great elements right there. Great elements right there. This whole retirement ruse angle just to get a match for the championship against Cody Rhodes. I loved how it's played out on television going into this match. I also appreciate the fact that Mark Henry endorsed the hell out of the way AJ did this and the respect AJ had by calling up Mark Henry, right? Never trust those damn suits. Have we not learned by now? I mean, come on. Clear as day, you see the suit, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Since when have we seen somebody in a suit? Yeah, I'm just going to go on ahead and announce my retirement here. And, yeah, buddy boy, I am good to go. I am good to go. This match lasting 28, 29 minutes, give or take. I love the finish to this match. I really do. I love how AJ Styles had got those handcuffs involved, because you knew when it came to those handcuffs, okay, this isn't the end. At least this is the way I was thinking. This is not the end of this fight, of this quit match, but these handcuffs will play a role in regards to the finish. That's what I had going on in the back of my head. And man, to see AJ Styles take the kendo stick and then at another point take that steel chair, and he was just going to the body of Cody Rhodes. Ooh, I was eating that up big time. And each time it just seemed like AJ was upping the ante of physicality on Cody Rhodes. And each time the referee is checking in on Cody, Cody's going, hell no! I'm loving it. I mean, he's talking mad trash. He's being defiant as ever. I love that. Okay, you're showing us the grit and everything against the veteran that is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. I loved all of that. Then when we essentially flipped the script and Cody Rhodes taking advantage of a distracted AJ Styles there, talking a little bit too much trash there, too distracted by Mama Rhodes, he's able to take those handcuffs that's behind him, right? Because remember how AJ cuffed him. He cuffed him from behind, but what AJ failed to realize is that, Cody's got enough length in the chain link there to be able to just, if he's given the right opportunity, he can just put them bad boys, from behind, pull it up front, which is exactly what he did. I thought the touch of the handcuff key, I thought that was tacky. I really wish that could have been a case where, the key is conveniently right here. I don't know. Something about that just kind of irked me out a little bit, but that's just me. However, again, the handcuffs. If you're looking at this, you're thinking like I'm thinking, handcuffs are going to come into play in regards to the finish. Sure enough, that's exactly what went down as Cody managed to handcuff AJ to the ropes, then just started going to town on him. Wasn't this after? Yeah, this was after a couple of crossroads and everything, but Cody, not satisfied, eventually handcuffing AJ in the corner. And I love the finish where Cody grabs a big old steel step from outside the ring, and he's getting ready to just go to the head of AJ. And AJ just flips the hell out. He's like, it was almost kind of like, you're crazy, man. I quit. I loved it. I loved it. That, oh my God. That was so fun. That almost reminded me of a time, not a long-winded story, but it almost reminded me of a time when I was in junior high and I got into this fight with this bully. He was pretty tall. He probably had about, I would say, over, my God, he probably had over maybe 3 feet over me, right? But I didn't care. I got into a fight with this guy, and I was on top of him. I was beating the holy crap out of him. I was doing good. Your man was pouncing, just, I was laying in the jabs and everything, messing his face up. I was able to draw a little bit of blood. I was proud of myself that day because I was like, ooh, I'm drawing blood. Eventually, his size and all that, he's on top of me, and now he's punching me in the face, and I am literally laughing at him. I'm telling him, man, my mama hits harder than you. Where's my bleep? I don't think my bleep is gonna come on today, but I'm like, I'm talking bad trash to this dude. And then finally, he just flips the hell out. And I think he grabbed like this mini refrigerator. I mean, this boy was tall, like basketball height tall. And a lot of people always mistook him for being a lot older as a result. I mean, this guy was probably 13, 14 years old. But when you look at him, you're thinking, man, this dude looks like he's in his early 20s. And that wasn't the case at all. But he had a lot of strength on it. So I remember he picked up this mini fridge. He just looked at it. He was on top of me. He just grabs this mini fridge. It was connected to the wall, but he just rips the damn thing and everything. And he's about to hit me with the mini fridge. And I say, I give up. Stop, you win. That whole scene with Cody and AJ, that's exactly what I was reminded of. And I just bawled out in freaking delight and laughter over that. And then to see afterwards, Cody just goes, F it. And he still strikes the hell out of AJ with that freaking set of steel steps. Magnifique, a nice touch. By the way, what is going on with my sound effects here? Okay, so we're good. Okay, I was wondering what was going on there. So I must have accidentally removed a sound effect, so I gotta be careful because I'm trying to make sure I don't cuss as much, and when I do, I got the bleep button ready to go. But sometimes, yeah, it is what it is. But a nice title defense for Cody Rhodes. Things still feel a little bit hollow, though. It brings me to a good point as far as what happened post-match, but things still feel a little bit hollow with the Cody Rhodes reign right now. It's what I've always been saying on this show for years, which is the chase is better than the catch. And what a great chase that it was for Cody Rhodes there. But now that the honeymoon period is over, it just feels like Cody is float on. He's just floating in the air there. He's having really good matches and everything, but there's no gravitas to this championship reign so far. And maybe that's why we continue to be in this situation of purgatory, if you even want to call it that, with Cody as champion. Now, look, Cody Rhodes fans, I'm not saying Cody Reigns' current reign sucks. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I hate to use a food analogy, but it's the best way to really relay to you guys. Think about whatever dish, for those of you that like to cook, or those of you that something that your significant other or a family member always likes to make. Just think about that dish that you love eating. Now, just picture that one time that you're eating that dish, you're going, something is missing here. I'm not exactly sure what, but something is missing. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's good, but something is missing. That's what's going on right now with Cody Rhodes. So maybe it's a good thing that we've got some supporting cast members that's participating, if you will, in this championship reign. Because I thought it was a nice touch that after the match was over. By the way, I am aware of a couple of drop frames that's happening right now with the live stream. I want to let you guys know that's checking us out live right now. I am aware that there are some drop frame rates happening behind the scenes. I just want to let you know it's not you all's end, it's my end. And yes, I did reboot the computer. Worst case scenario, I'm letting you guys know right now, if the stream gets interrupted, have no fear. I have it recording in the background, and as soon as the stream is over, I'll gladly re-up it to all of social media. But hopefully, I think honestly, the laptop is getting ready to die. I don't know if it'll make it through the rest of this year. Do I really want to chance it? No, not really. But yeah, anyway, but I liked how after the match was over and everything, we had Solo Sikoa, who has pretty much anointed himself the new, tribal chief, if you will, because we have yet to hear from Roman Reigns. We may hear a little something, but it's not a case where directly, we just heard Roman Reigns' voice. Or, hey, we just saw Roman Reigns, even though it was a case where Roman Reigns appeared via Zoom, or he appeared via Google Hangout or Skype or whatever. No, it's not one of those type of cases whatsoever. It's always this person with secondhand knowledge had spoke to this person, and that person is the one that spoke to Roman. It almost kind of reminds you of Goodfellas, so to speak. Shout out if you get that connection there. If you do, you know what I'm talking about. But Solo Sikoa standing right behind, beside Cody Rhodes after his title defense. Cody kind of sensing something is up, gets jumped from behind by the rest of the new bloodline. Nice spot right there. That set up Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to come out and essentially save Cody Rhodes behind. But notice it went by so fast. If you missed it the first time, you missed it. But when Randy Orton came out there, he locked eyes on Cody's championship belt. So, you could make an argument that, yeah, Randy, he's going to be there for Cody and everything, but he has a ulterior motive here. Whether or not that's going to culminate at SummerSlam, that remains to be seen. But for now, we've got strange bedfellows there amongst Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Been interested in seeing how their chemistry has been working out for these past couple of weeks on SmackDown and everything, but it looks like they all have a destination, if you will, going into facing the Bloodline members. Curious how that's going to play out. Are they going to try to take that to another pay-per-view, or are they going to let things play out ultimately in a match on SmackDown? So, nice seeds that's pretty much being planted right there. Of course, what's next for AJ Styles? Well, some of us already know what is next for AJ Styles. Did you see the announcement that was made pretty much in the wee hours of the night? If you had peeped it out earlier this morning, then you already know what's going on. But for those of you that maybe are not aware and you're basically going to be hearing this for the very first time, it's actually a damn good thing. Let me tell you, as AJ Styles is going to be hooking up with the Japanese promotion Noah in July, and he's actually going to be wrestling for them. So remember, it was just last week that we heard about Io Sky and what she was getting ready to do. And now we've got AJ Styles following suit. I mean, that is freaking badass. Seriously, that is badass that WWE, Triple H, Paul Levesque, and everybody, they are doing this really cool thing now where this continuation of the Forbidden Door, all of us was just like, oh, TNA, but now we see that Noah is getting involved in this as well, and it's freaking badass. But yeah, it's going to be a special match between, I'm gonna offer apologies in advance because I'm gonna mispronounce the hell out of this name, but it's all good. I'll get it. I might mess it up the first time, but trust me, once I do my research and I know how to pronounce properly, I'll get it down. But Pro Wrestling Noah on Saturday, July 13th at the Nippon Budokan Destination 2024. It's going to be Naomichi Marufuji taking on AJ Styles. I've seen a little bit of Marufuji's work in the past, and he's freaking awesome. So that is going to be a really fun matchup. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But I'm loving what's going on here, right? This is how it should be in regards to the independents. It should be the big stars jumping out there, trying to help out these other promotions, put a nice spotlight on them. It should always be like this. It should not be about, okay, we're going to come and, yeah, we're going to do this, but, we got to get this person off the free agency market. We got to get that person off of the free agency market. We got to yank this person as well, and we got to sign this person. I like what's happening right now, the way that WWE is essentially doing this. And truth be told, I know TNA, they've pretty much been doing this for years when they would allow their talents to go wrestle in other promotions and all of that. And it'd be a great win-win situation for both promotions and everything. It's nice to see WWE doing this again on a regular basis after an extended long hiatus. I freaking love it. So at least we know what's happening with AJ Styles in the immediate future. I would imagine maybe AJ, does he go off the grid, y'all? Does he go off the grid in WWE? Does he disappear for a little bit and maybe we see him on the journey to SummerSlam, or he just picks it right back up this coming week on SmackDown? I guess we'll have to wait and see how all of that plays itself out. Continuing on with our next matchup here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this because we are about to hit the 30-second mark. I want to take this time out and I want to recognize one of our ad sponsors. So let's pause for just 30 seconds. Let one of our sponsors tell you guys about their great products and services. You're checking out the RCWR show. We'll be coming right back in about 30 seconds or less.
Looking to make a six-figure income with little to no prior experience? Want to be your own boss? You can have this too-good-to-be-true career as an auto broker in the automotive industry. Auto brokers are self-employed individuals who work as intermediaries between car dealerships and buyers.
But I don't know anything about being an auto broker.
That's where Go Auto Broker comes in. In our online and print course, How to Become an Auto Broker, you'll learn how to secure leads, the 10 steps to the sale, and all the ins and outs of being an auto broker. An investment in our course is an investment in yourself and your future. Begin your journey and sign up now.
Visit www.goautobroker.com.
All right, you're checking out the RCWR show. Lee Sanders here. We're talking WWE Clash at the Castle. It's a premium live event that had went down Saturday afternoon. They did that bad boy early Saturday as well. So we just got done talking about the opening matchup there for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm curious what you all's thoughts are in regards to what I had to say about Cody Rhodes and his respected championship reign so far. If you guys have those same feelings, or if you're thinking and looking at it from a different standpoint. I'm most curious, so definitely sound off. Let me know what you guys are thinking. WWE Clash at the Castle, by the way, they did break a record for the largest arena gate in history, as WWE made the announcement that as far as the attendance goes, they had 11,391. That's pretty good for a Scotland event. Again, now holding the largest gate. So congrats to WWE. I mean, they just continue to break in new records as far as attendance and all that other stuff goes. So some good stuff right there. Going on with our next matchup here. Second matchup on the card, it would be, I think it's the triple threat for the tag titles, isn't it? Yeah. The unholy union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defeating Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark to become the new women's tag team champions. 12 minutes, 10 seconds. Look, I thought all the women did a solid job in this matchup, but I particularly want to hone in on Jade Cargill as we continue to talk about this match. I saw all the criticism within the past 24 hours, especially in real time. I saw all the comments that was coming in on Jade Cargill. So many people very quick to bash her, make fun of her. It was just stupid. Some of the stuff that I was seeing, it was just stupid. So I'm looking at that, and remember what I just said several minutes ago? I said keep it in the back of your head. Marinate on it, because we're going to come back to it. Remember what I said at the opening about the referee, AJ Styles, the referee gesturing over that top rope? Well, it would appear as though a lot of superstars, and I did notice it in real time, not just with Jade Cargill, but a lot of superstars that performed in that ring less than 24 hours ago that was doing stuff involving that top rope, they had some issues. They had a couple of hiccups. Jade Cargill, though, had the most obvious hiccup. When I saw it go down in real time, the first thing I said to myself was, Jade, just pace yourself, slow it down a little bit. Yeah, you're doing the hot tag and everything, but pace yourself just right. Slow down just a little bit. Slow down. My biggest concern when it comes to Jade Cargill is, and I've seen her do this as far back as AEW, but what I notice with her is when she makes a mistake, she typically will not pace herself, try to go a little bit slower, be a little bit more conscious. Typically, when she makes a mistake, she just tries to rush into the next move. And you don't want to just rush because you may unintentionally and inadvertently hurt your dance partner in the process of that. So, my mind, the way I always operate when I see somebody having a little bit of a hiccup in the ring is, hey, pace yourself, find your right footing there, and, if you want to try that again, that's great. But if you maybe want to maybe not do that, that's also good as well. Shout out to Shayna Baszler, who did her best to protect Jade once she realized Jade wasn't going to be able to successfully do that launching attack off the top rope, going in for the clothesline and everything. I thought they rebounded together quite nicely. And I would like to believe that Shayna said to her in that brief exchange, hey, you all right? Everything good? All right. Yeah, I would like to believe somebody said to her, out of those three women, or I'm more thinking about the veterans. Shayna definitely. I'm definitely picturing Bianca maybe saying something as well. But I would imagine somebody said to her, okay, you're all right. Just, take your time, pace yourself, right? That's my biggest concern when it comes to Jade Cargill, because when she makes a mistake, she is usually a deer in headlights, it seems. That's how she comes off. I'm not saying that's what she is. I'm just saying how she comes off. And it usually takes her a minute to rebound. I thought what happened with that over-the-top rope spot, I thought she did relatively well. She still needs to work on, it's not so much about the execution of the moves, but it's more so about getting the crowd involved, getting them hyped up and everything. It's more than just, come on! That's all she does. Come on! It's more than that. It's looking at the crowd. It is banging that turnbuckle pad. It's looking at the crowd. Come on, guys. Let me hear it. It's getting them involved in everything, building the hell up out of that hot tag moment and all of that good stuff. But I thought Jade, contrary to what is being said on social media, on social media, first of all, they act like Jade Cargill is the only one in WWE that makes mistakes. When in the same pay-per-view event, we saw Damian Priest and a few others make a few mistakes, and they didn't get lit up online. So that kind of tells you exactly the type of audience that is paying attention to Jade Cargill. It's probably those that are still pretty butthurt over the fact that she rolled out from AEW, and any chance that they get to, see there, and all that other stuff. But, it is what it is there. Let's talk about Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. If this was the right call, if this was the wrong call, I got to tell you guys, and I literally talked about this as early as when I was offering predictions for a Clash at the Castle. I said, look, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are on a roll right now as champions. They are like these real life freaking superheroes that you got going on here. Like, why would you screw with that? You're hitting up so many age demographics that it's not even funny. By the way, do not do a engine search on X for Jade Cargill. Some of you guys need a significant other already. That's all I got to say. Because I was trying to look up what people were saying about Jade, and it was pretty harsh, some of the stuff that was being said. But my God, you guys giving your own, how can I put this, tributes. Okay? Jesus, man, can you put up some type of a spoiler thing, blur your crap or whatever? Jesus. Anyway, I tell you. Anyway, look it up. No, don't look it up. I was about to say, look it up, kids. No, don't look it up. Do not look it up. Time out. But I thought that Jade Cargill and Bianca, yo, you can ride this for several months. Several months, you can plant little seeds. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff with these two as a tag team before you ultimately split them up, man. Like, there's so much potential here. Like, you could ride this out until the end of the year. Like, seriously, when was the last time you had such a true dominating set of tag team women champions? Like, this is, yeah, why not? So the fact that it went to Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, I know that one of the girls they had went through some, I think it was, I can't remember which girl it was. I know the commentators were saying some stuff like, hey, she has recently gone through some difficult, stuff in her life, and you know, she had to overcome some great adversities, and I get that. I get that emotional context that we're trying to establish here. But here's the problem with that. And look, yeah, we can have all the fans in the world saying, "Oh man, yeah, she definitely deserves it," and they definitely deserve it. If that does not successfully translate well on television, okay, you can't just, oh, well, we're about a couple of days away or a week away from the pay-per-view, so we got to figure out some type of way to build upon emotional context. And, right, you can't just pull something out of thin air and then go, see, so you should care about these people because ... fill in the blanks. No, you should already be establishing this weeks before. You should already be building these girls up. And for my personal taste, for my personal preference, my personal opinion, I don't really feel that they properly build up enough Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. That's just me. Sorry to my Scotland fans and fans of those girls, but that's just where I'm coming from. If they would have done just a solid month, just a solid good month of really building these girls up, truly making them be a legitimate threat, and all that build up that has been done for these girls, it's being highlighted, it's being showcased on WWE programming. No matter what you're watching, then it could be a case, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, they could actually come out of this as champions. Yeah, we do have a serious threat to Jade and Bianca's reign right here. A lot of you guys are thinking that there's going to be a rematch and that Jade and Bianca are going to get the titles right back, that maybe this was just for the good feel moment, if you will. Hey, taste of home with their hometown heroes and all that. I get that. I hear you on that. If the titles go right back to Bianca and Jay, okay, sure. You were just trying to go for that good feeling. Okay, sure. I hope that's the case, because if you're going to go in another direction where you keep Isla and Alba as your champions, I can't help but look at Jade and Bianca and go, okay, well, what does that mean for them exactly? Where exactly do they go? Because as far as I'm concerned, you haven't exactly built up a potential feud with them. Like, there's no seeds that's been planted. You haven't done anything. You have not done anything. So where are you going to go with those girls exactly? So something to kind of have in the back of your head there. Some rookie mistakes made in the match. Things definitely got sloppy towards the end, without a doubt, as some of the stuff that we had commented on earlier and everything. But definitely a surprise win. I'm very curious to see what happens with the new set of champions going forward. Next up, the Intercontinental Championship match, Chad Gable taking on Sami Zayn. Chad Gable had revealed in a interview, I wish I knew the name of the show, but it was definitely while he was out there in Scotland, he revealed that he re-upped with the WWE. And man, how close it was for him to essentially take the exit and everything, because I remember, and I'm paraphrasing here, so forgive me, but I remember reading the transcript of the interview, and Chad Gable talked about how Triple H, Paul Levesque sat him down, told him some of the plans that they had for him going forward and everything. And his whole thing was, okay, you know what? I've heard this type of stuff before, right, with the last regime, and that really did not go anywhere, but speaking with Triple H, Paul Levesque and everything, yeah, I went on ahead. I gave him that respected time, and instantly, what he said he was going to do came to fruition. So that was a very, you could say, a powerful thing that influenced him greatly into, okay, you know what, I think I'll go on ahead and re-sign with the company. So I know that we saw those reports that was floating around that AEW and, know that AEW and whoever else is out there promotion-wise, let alone the free agency market, right, was interested in seeing if they could tap into the services of Chad Gable and everything. But Chad Gable staying right where he is. I mention all of this for full context because if you were aware of this information going into Clash at the Castle, you're going, so what does this mean for Chad Gable right here in this moment? Does he come out now as the new Intercontinental Champion or no? No. I loved how things played out at the very end. You knew once again to a certain degree that Otis was probably going to be a factor. It was funny how it all played out too, considering, because remember how I laid it out on the prediction show, the Pick'ems show. I felt that Otis was maybe going to have to do something with the Intercontinental Championship, and he was going to be hell-bent on taking it upside the head of Sami Zayn, and that maybe somehow he'd get that tough love and the slaps yet again from Chad Gable. Otis about to smack the hell out of Sami Zayn with the championship. Oh, wait. Otis about to smack the hell out of Chad Gable with the championship. Chad is able to dodge the attack. The championship hits Sami instead. Chad Gable wins that way, and essentially you're now looking at this going, okay, so is this now going to be a case where maybe Otis eventually chases after Chad for the championship? But remember how I painted it all out, how I laid it all out. I kind of like that idea more. Hell, even if it was a case where you were going to have, I'm going to stay, because I was doing my thing with the Pick'ems. I'm going to stay consistent right here. But that would have been a really great finish. I thought it was so flat that Otis pretty much leaves out with Maxine, because Maxine takes a bump during this whole ordeal. And Otis, all right, you going to kind of help out Sami, or you going to help out Otis? And he just decides, I'm going to help out the girl. I'm out of here. Peace out. That was just, it was so flat. I didn't particularly care for that when it was all said and done. I didn't particularly care for that. Halua kick, 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn retains the championship. Sami Zayn is now officially done with Chad Gable. Is he, though? Is he really? Now that Chad Gable has re-upped, I can't help but wonder what exactly is next for Chad Gable. And I'm hoping what's next is, I've pitched this idea before. I've mentioned it a couple of times. I'm going to mention it again. I know we have some people over the years associated with WWE that check out the stream and all of that. I hope this idea touches those ears and it can get to the necessary parties involved. But I just feel at this point, since Chad Gable has re-signed with the WWE, it's now time to freshen up the Alpha Academy. I mean, follow the story arc here. It's obvious that Chad Gable is not able to get the results that he wants with the necessary members that's involved. He's giving them chance after chance after chance, and they keep coming up short. So what do you do when that keeps happening? Well, ultimately, you're led to none other choice than to, you know what? Let's take a step back, blow things up. Let's start from scratch. Let's just start from scratch. So I'm hoping that the Alpha Academy, as it is right now, those members are essentially kicked to the curb and he ushers in new blood. I would personally love to see the Creed brothers do something with Chad Gable. I mean, what a drastic improvement that would be. What a serious upgrade that would be. Could you just imagine the Creed brothers with Chad Gable? I mean, they would get, that's overnight sensation. That is just instant money. That is instant, whatever you want to call it. That would be freaking perfect. I could see them wrecking havoc on that Raw roster. That culminates in the Creed brothers getting tag team titles. Chad Gable, whether he gets the Intercontinental Championship or he gets the next best thing, maybe a World Heavyweight Championship. Who knows, right? Money in the Bank. Could that maybe be in the cards for Chad Gable? Does he maybe cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase on the Intercontinental Champion? Because remember, that Money in the Bank briefcase, at least the way it was worded last, whoever wins that, they have a shot at any championship of their choosing for a whole year. And we have yet to see a Money in the Bank challenger go, you know what? I want to challenge for that Intercontinental Championship. So how much, what's the right word I'm looking for? I'm going to approach the word that I'm looking for this way because it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of the word. But obsessed. How obsessed is Chad Gable with Sami Zayn? If this is it for him, and Sami Zayn is like, that's it, dude. You're done. You're not getting any more Intercontinental Championship shots. We are done. Does Chad then go, okay, I'm going to go to Money in the Bank then. I'm going to win the briefcase. Does he move on to a world championship? Or does he go, nah, man, I got to stick it to Sami Zayn. I know I can beat this dude. And what if he does end up beating the dude, but in the process rebuilds Alpha Academy? You know, it's definitely stuff like that you got to think about here. But I personally would not have mind seeing Gable win. But it was good booking that the way in which they had this match laid out. It's a great match. Definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. I love this match a lot more than, I'm going to jump out there. I like this match a lot more than the main event match. I have this match ahead of what Cody and AJ did just by a little smidget. That kind of gives you an idea, though. WWE Women's Championship match. Piper Niven taking on Bayley. I don't think anybody ever doubted for a second that Bayley wasn't going to come out of this still the champion. 18 minutes, retained. Crowd was, I'll admit, I did notice the crowd here a little bit. They kind of seemed a little disengaged. I give them that. As far as the match itself goes, you know, for almost 20 minutes that the girls had did, good effort. Piper getting the hometown reaction and everything. Bayley looked very good. Chelsea Green making her little cameo appearances in there as well. I thought she did pretty good. Final moments of this matchup. Piper goes up to the top. Bayley goes up as well. Headbutt from Piper sends Bayley down on her back. Piper trying to see if she can pull off a move, but Bayley runs back up, connects with a beautiful Bayley to Bayley. Then you got a Mags woman who comes down to the ring, and if you know your Lucha Underground stuff, then you know Chelsea Green at one point, right? So I thought that was a nice little. I love seeds like that. I love little Easter eggs like that that's planted by the WWE, man. And whoever the creative team is that is just behind doing these little Easter eggs, letting the wrestlers do these little cool spots, homages, and all that. Keep it coming. I love it, especially when they do it from a backstage area standpoint. It's so much more these days than just two people talking. You literally got to go, okay, let's really scrutinize this scene. What's being set up right here, if anything? And to the point, for example, you go back to Monday's Raw. I missed that Finn Balor snuck in the key card while everybody was talking and embracing for a little pound and all that. I missed that. But I did peep out the Rey Mysterio figure that had a sign that read, "I'm a deadbeat dad," right? It's like, but I missed the key card swipe. Like, how do you miss, right? Second go around, I'm watching it again on social media, and I'm going, oh, you guys are good. You guys are good, because I did not see that the first go around. So, but I love these little Easter egg plants that they be doing. Back into the ring, Piper goes for another senton, but Bayley is able to move out the way in time. Tries for the Rhodes plant. Piper comes back with a headbutt. Bayley swings onto the arms, does a crucifix pin. Pretty much takes care of Piper that way to retain the championship. Still feels a little bit hollow there with Bayley as a champion. Almost kind of suffering the same effects that I was mentioning earlier there with our boy Cody Rhodes. Need a little bit more zest there. I don't know what can be done. Your guess is as good as mine, but I tell you what, I sure miss me some Charlotte Flair. I don't know about you guys, but I miss me some Charlotte Flair. I am aware about what's going on with the latest QR code for the Bray Wyatt stable, the whatever. I can't wait to see what officially they're going to be calling it and everything. We shall see what happens. I have a question in the chat that reads, will Wyatt 6 end up like the Nexus? I don't know how to answer that question except for this way. We haven't even seen this stable debut yet. We've heard rumblings of the names of the members for this stable, but we don't know exactly how it's going to be presented. We don't know how long this stable is going to run. And to the point, we don't know as collectively as a whole, as a wrestling community, as a WWE family. We don't know if it's going to end up like the Nexus or if it's going to end up like insert. We haven't even seen the stable debut. We don't have enough information. It's not like we've been watching them for 3 months now and it's like, okay, we got a really good snapshot. Now we can talk about this stable. What are we thinking so far? Does this have some type of really good longevity? Can it surpass this stable? Can it, or is it going to succumb like this stable over here? Like, boys, girls, I've said this once before and I hate to sound like a broken record. Chill. Just chill. Till the next episode. Just chill. Wait till everything come out. Get yourself, think about it like this. Let's go back with a food analogy real quick. You're in your local neighborhood. You see that there's a new pizzeria that's being built. And you probably say, right, here's a question. And I'm not trying to make it sound silly, but here's the question. You see a pizzeria that's being built. Wonder if that's going to be the next Pizza Hut. Well, guess what? You ain't going to really know until that place opens, right? You can say it's a small mom pie chain pizzeria that's getting ready to open up. Wonder if that's going to end up like Pizza Hut. Well, you're not going to know that until 1, it makes its debut. 2, you sample the food. Right? 3, now you're able to review it. Maybe you and your friends, family, coworkers get together and you're able to talk about it. Now, take that same concept, put it back on the question that was just asked. You ain't going to know until you see the stable debut, until you have weeks to 2 months, 3 months of, okay, this is what we've got so far. We got a nice bite size of what this stable is about. Then be able to assess. So just chill till the next episode. That's my best advice. We got one more match to talk about. I can't believe we're already right here, but this was a short card when it was all said and done. I love these short cards, by the way, from WWE. Keep it coming, WWE. Keep it coming. World Heavyweight Championship, Drew McIntyre taking on Damian Priest. Today was going to be the day that they were going to throw it back to you. By now, you should have realized what you ought not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. That's Drew McIntyre in a nutshell. Not today. Not today. No, not today. Not today, Drew McIntyre. Oh, I love this match. I love this match. This went down exactly how I envisioned it. Exactly how I envisioned it, with the exception of the referee shirt. Chef's kiss. I love this for what it was worth, man. All right, so let's really dissect this here. I took down my notes for this one. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, towards the end of this match here. So, Priest, Drew in the corner, set up on the top rope, big chop. Priest connecting with another chop. Priest splitting the legs, climbs up. Drew coming back with another chop. Headbutt sends Priest off the corner. Then you get a kick from Priest. Priest does a really good job selling the effects of the attack to his lower leg there. Ref asking Damian if he's okay, if he can continue, all that good stuff. Priest back up to the top. There's a hurricanrana to Drew from that top rope. Priest hobbles over to Drew. Boom! Drew McIntyre hits him with the Claymore. Cover attempt made. No mas, as somehow Damian Priest kicks out. Drew then follows up with a belly-to-belly. Grabs Priest. Tries to lift him up. Chop across the chest. Priest able to fight out of it. Drew tries going from behind, shoves Priest, and Priest runs into the ref. Claymore, nope. Powerbomb. Drew manages to escape, hit the ropes. Drew tries for a Claymore, but there's no ref as Drew is going for the cover. The crowd is counting at this point. This should be over. Drew should now be the new World Heavyweight Champion. Ref comes down to the ring. A new ref comes down to the ring. Ref counts 1. Ref counts 2. And there is a deliberate pause. I love the camera angle that was set up by WWE here, because when Drew looks at the referee to see what the hell happened to him or her, what's going on, the facial expression that Drew sells, you can't teach that. You got to be within the moment. You got to feel it, the energy from the crowd, all of that. You can't teach that type of stuff. Drew sells the hell out of that moment. And you're going, what is going on here? Drew just act like he saw a ghost. And then we get the other angle there as it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I love that Michael Cole and them, they did not spoil that view. Because they already know who it is from where they're sitting. Not so much the cameras, just where they're sitting. Appreciate the fact that they didn't spoil it. I love how the camera pretty much had to essentially do a 180 pan. And then, it's CM freaking Punk. Massive cheers, jeers. Drew McIntyre coming to his feet. CM Punk shoving Drew away by the face. All that good stuff. I loved it. Drew getting Punk in the corner, talking mad trash. And then, boom, low blow. CM Punk delivering a low blow to Drew McIntyre. And then just that nice touch of, get out of my face, as he puts his hand on Drew's face and just shoves him down to the canvas. I love that. Good freaking stuff. Referee comes to afterwards. South of Heaven, 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote. Damian Priest still your new champ. He's still relatively new for your World Heavyweight Champion, but he's still your World Heavyweight Championship. Damn. I love that. I loved it. Great finish. The match was okay when it was all said and done. It was decent. I don't think a lot of people are wondering if Damian Priest is actually hurt, legit hurt. I don't think he's legit hurt. I think he was just doing a really good job selling and everything. Damian is still in that position, though, where currently as a champion, he's kind of hollow right now. Isn't it interesting? When we had Seth Rollins as the workhorse champion, say what you will about Rollins, but man, the one thing that you could not take away from Rollins is, when he shows up to defend this championship, he puts his all into it, and that essentially carried him, also thanks in part to the catchy little theme song of his, but the matches definitely carried the man over and made that championship have validation. And so far, with Damian Priest as champion, it's just been pretty hollow. Yeah, he's getting by, but is he really the man? Is he even the other man? He still hasn't quite gotten to that point yet. Drew winning would have been badass. Drew McIntyre winning would have been badass, would have been a really cool moment, but honestly, I'm totally fine with this direction that we're continuing to go in with CM Punk, because this stays true to not just the CM Punk character, but it also stays true to the story arc that's at play right now between Drew and Punk, which is, from Punk's perspective, every chance that I get, I'm going to muck with you. I am going to make your life a living hell. And CM Punk has essentially delivered on all of those promises. So I love, and it's gotten to a point now where the line is starting to blur, where you go, so is CM Punk essentially the heel right here? Because if you're looking at the fact that for a second year in a row, Drew McIntyre has been screwed out of a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. He could see it, he could taste it, he could smell it, all that good stuff, and is denied again. But this go round, you look at the fact that this is all because of an individual. Do you look at what happened in Scotland and essentially, you could say the crowd should be sympathetic towards Drew McIntyre. He should be the babyface here, because CM Punk, you could say, is the heel from everything that he's doing. You can make that argument. You could also just say, reap what you sow. Drew McIntyre is getting essentially everything and then some that's coming to him. That could also, right? You could make whatever argument that you want to make with this and everything. But I love the chemistry between these two guys. They are doing some phenomenal stuff that hasn't been seen before to a certain degree. Definitely in regards to the social media game. I love their social media game. Remember I was saying the other day about if anyone is maybe a close second to Drew McIntyre and his social media game. Even though CM Punk doesn't put out enough social media stuff, he makes it count. And whether it's him or he's got AJ helping him or he's got a team, dude is lighting it up on social media when he does post. CM Punk could definitely make a case for, maybe he should be number one as well. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the year-end awards just for who's got the best social media game and everything. The crowd made the event much better. Did it kind of feel like they were hijacking key moments for themselves? They did. And honestly, best advice I can give, when the crowd is distracting you like that you can't really get into the match, I know it's going to hurt you hearing this, but just hit the mute and just have some music maybe playing in the background or something and just watch the guys in the ring. Focus on that and everything. But I love the main event for all the respected reasons concerning CM Punk. And isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Because it was a good match between Drew and Damian. And I think more people, even us fans, were more in tune to the idea of Drew McIntyre winning the championship. But those of us that's been paying attention to what's been happening with the CM Punk stuff, you're going, Punk's going to screw this guy up. So now you're more so lost in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And to the person that's saying, ain't nobody watching matches on mute, what's the point? Here's the point. You'd be surprised how much stuff you miss when you're paying so much attention to the crowd's reaction as opposed to what the two individuals are doing in the ring. It's no different than, imagine being a deaf person. A deaf person, even though they're no longer able to hear, their other senses are heightened. Not just vision, but memory as well, particularly when it calls to recollection. They have a sharper memory. They can tell you specific, very, very detailed information that a person that has hearing wouldn't be able to tell you otherwise. You're talking to somebody that went through a period of time with WWE commentators where, I don't want to hear that guy. Yeah, nah, I'm good. And I'm going as far back as when they had Mike Adamle. I can remember when Mike Adamle was the Raw new lead guy. Couldn't stand hearing him. I would put my TV on mute. I'd have some music playing in the background, and I would continue to watch the wrestling. And don't you know, I would be able to tell you a lot more things in great detail as opposed to if I had the TV on, I'm listening to the commentary, and I'm listening to the fan reaction. I get some people, don't get me wrong, I get that some people at the end of the day, they want to blast that TV. They want to feel like, hey, since I can't actually be there in person and I got the right type of TV, I got the right sound bar system and all that. Trust me, I get it. I got a 72-inch screen TV. I got the whole big entertainment soundboard, bar, all that. I got the whole setup, right? So when my sports come around, I'm enjoying it in style. But even I get to a point where, you know what? I just want to pay attention, really, to the in-ring action. I'm watching for the in-ring action. Some people can't do that. And I get that. I respect that. But some people can't. They can't do that. They can't turn it off. And as a result of that, they miss out on a lot of things. Perfect example. The stuff with the spot with Jade Cargill from earlier. So many people were focused more on the fact that she messed up. When if you really had a keen eye and maybe you were watching everything on mute or you had the volume down kind of low, you would have noticed in real time like I did, hey, the referee's gesturing to AJ Styles about that top rope. Wonder what's going on there. Is the referee saying to AJ, this is kind of loose, it's kind of slick? Or is he maybe giving him some last-minute instructions? for the match. And then you find out later on that a lot of superstars had issues with that particular rope. Go back and watch the PLE for those of you that haven't watched it yet. Jade wasn't the only one that was having issues with that top rope. So everybody's different. Everybody has their own personal preferences when it comes to what they like, how they like to watch it, music, no music, volume, no volume. But I tell you this much. At the end of the day, as far as Clash at the Castle goes, pretty solid premium live event when it's all said and done. Crazy ride that we got in store for WWE programming this week. Now, CM Punk did speak at the Clash at the Castle. I guess it was a post show because I know WWE was saying something about they weren't doing a conference, that it was more so going to be a post show or whatever. I don't know. I just know there's some highlights that had came out of post show. I'm just going to call it a post show or post show conference, whatever. But CM Punk did say that he's going to try to see if he can get cleared this week because his arm is feeling a lot better. Where Raw is going to be from this coming Monday, he unfortunately is not going to be on that show. He's hoping that if everything works out perfectly and he's cleared, that instead he'll show up on SmackDown, as SmackDown is supposed to be in Chicago. So that should be a pretty damn good episode. That should be a fun week. I think it's safe to say CM Punk is cleared, but we'll wait and see how all of that pans out. While we're talking about CM Punk, by the way, Triple H had this to say with the post-show press conference, talking about how excited he is to work with CM Punk and how everything had played out very nicely at the Scotland pay-per-view. He said, and I quote, "There is a change and there is a new era, a new atmosphere, all of those things. Absolutely, in some ways, there are things he was asking for and started a long time ago, at a time that maybe he and I, for a lot of reasons, just saw things differently from each other. We saw eye to eye, but it was angry eye to eye. It was opposition eye to eye. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have him back. I cannot tell you how exciting it is for me to see the Phil Brooks that I wanted to see then. While maybe my efforts to get that were taken wrong and it's what led to friction, I always knew the Phil Brooks that I see today was inside there. Just couldn't express it in the right way. As much as this has changed, he has changed. I've got to tell you, it's amazing. I am excited for the future, and I'm excited to not just work with him, but to be around him. He's a pleasure to be around in the locker room, a pleasure to be around as a performer. He's a pleasure to be around helping other guys to grow, to change, to impart what he has learned, not only as a performer, but also as a person that was on the wrong side of things, but maybe figured it out along the way. That is valuable information that he can share with another generation that is coming behind him. I'm thrilled and excited to have him here, and I'm thrilled and excited to not only work with him in a talent role, but work with him to create the WWE that both he and I always wanted it to be. Some very over the moon and back, very kind words, very respectful words to say about CM Punk. I don't look at this as Triple H just playing the violin and just kissing up, and really behind the scenes he's just going. I think honestly, in retrospect, especially now that all the stuff has come about with Vince and everything, I think Triple H, if you are a person that truly can appreciate change, if you are a person that can truly be open-minded, then you evolve. If you're a type of individual that's just set on your own ways, it's either this or F you, take the highway, right? You're just one-track minded. stubborn-minded at that. Well, that's only going to get you but so far. You can't let anybody talk to you. You can't let anybody. And, look, I'm one of the biggest CM Punk fans, and even I can remember going, I don't know about that one, Punk. I don't really know about that one, dude. That's kind of, I hear you, but I don't know about that one. So, time can be a blessing in disguise if you embrace it and you truly work on yourself, especially as being a better communicator to your friends, family, coworkers, colleagues, and all that. And legit, I do feel as though Punk, Triple H, I do feel as though they are just bouncing off the walls, off of each other. I know Triple H got Shawn Michaels. He's got Shawn Michaels. Can't nobody ever replace a great mind like a Pat Patterson or a Dusty Rhodes or the Briscoes, right, with their great wrestling knowledge and all that, or a Harley Race. But I tell you what, with the type of people that Triple H is surrounding himself by, that includes the likes of a CM Punk, man, and these guys are all, relatively around the same age, give or take, if not younger, right? They're in their earlier mid-40s or whatnot. My whole point, creatively, WWE is going to be fine for many years to come. It's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to see. They say that time heals all wounds, and it's nice to see that is what exactly is going down. Unfortunately, it's not like that. It's not like that for everybody. I'm sure a lot of you guys that's listening right now, you can definitely relate to that. There might be somebody in your life that, hey, me and this person, we just couldn't see eye to eye. And, hey, I still think about this person to this day. I wish I was still conversing with them, had them in my life, but it is what it is. And, it sucks. I've moved on. I've changed. I've evolved, but they're still set in their respective ways, right? It's not always as good as this is my whole point. It's not always as good as this. So there's still time. There's still time. Maybe that person will come around. But in the meantime, yeah, you got to keep it moving along. You got to do you. But good stuff right there. CM Punk also had this to say in regards to the WWE culture changing since 2014. Yeah, on top of his health, he also had spoke about that topic, saying, quote, "Somebody here told me that they were extremely happy that I was back to experience the atmosphere and the culture that I started to grow here. And a lot of it, and this is not my words, a lot of it was because of me, why this place is like it is now. A lot of things that I fought for and asked for, sometimes begged for, are now in place. And it's a much better place. I'm older, I'm wiser. It's a great crew. The people who, like me, will know that I'm being earnest and honest, and believe me. And the people who don't like me will find a reason to twist that into, oh, he's just blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. We're here. We're the ones that do the work, and we know what goes on behind the scenes. And in one word, it's magic. Now, before any anti-CM Punk or anti-WWE fan want to throw some dirt on CM Punk, I'll give you guys programming notes, and we'll end it on this note. I did take the opportunity to watch AEW Collision 24 hours ago. Watched it in its entirety. It was the 1-year anniversary show. I watched it because it was the 1-year anniversary show. Some of the stuff on the card I wanted to see. I thought Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo, thought it was badass. What I was not expecting, though, was for CM Punk to essentially be recognized in the 1-year anniversary of Collision video package that AEW presented at one point. I think it was almost an hour into the show. And it was a beautiful video package of great highlights, all from Collision's first year. And they were, I will admit, for the CM Punk stuff that they showed, it was rather quick, but I must have saw at least 4, 5 max different parts of CM Punk's time when he was part of Collision that first year. And I just thought, wow, well, that's really cool. The fact that CM Punk was part of that, right? Now, if this man is as bad and ugly as certain people in AEW, then surely if they could have had it their way, CM Punk would not have been part of that. And yet the fact that he was, I think that should serve as some form of a testament that no matter what, and I'm sure Tony Khan is definitely upset over the fact that he lost Punk, and, you know, man, I lost that. I lost access to that. Not just the talent, but just, man, I lost access to that mind and everything that's essentially trickling on down. Like, I can't tap into that anymore. Oh, man, that sucks, right? I'm sure he's continuing to kick himself in the, but you don't think that whatever they were going to put together for the anniversary package video, you don't think Tony Khan had the final say in that? They could have easily, no, we're going to take that out. We're not going to, no, he ain't getting no flowers. Not from us. That says a lot. I think that says a lot to CM Punk and everything that's going on, been happening with him for these past several years and all that. So, final grade and favorite match, least favorite match from Clash at the Castle here. Most favorite match, I got to go with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. You know, can I just give an honorable mention to Cody and AJ, though? I do want to give an honorable mention to them. But most favorite match, Sami, Chad Gable. Least favorite match, I got to go with the Women's Championship match. I've got to go with that one. Well, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Women's Championship match, least favorite. And not for the reasons that a lot of the people are talking about online in regards to the whole Jade Cargill spot and all that. Just everything I had said from earlier. Yeah. Everything that I had said from earlier in regards to the women's match, just, I'm not really sure. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see where they go now with Alba and Isla as the tag champions and all that. But my least favorite, definitely the triple threat for the women's tag titles. I would rate this overall card, thinking of the number scale. Man, that's a tricky one, ain't it? That's a tricky one. I would give this one a 7.25 out of 10. 7.25 out of 10. So you're looking at maybe a B minus, give or take. A B minus. I can't go lower. I damn sure am not gonna go any higher. But that's where I'm at right now. So as far as programming notes, I'm gonna be back with you guys again live Monday night, June 17th, 2024, after WWE Raw goes off the air. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's gonna be good. Gonna be good. Gonna be going all over the place on that one. Also, we might do something on Wednesday. I'm not sure just yet, but we might end up doing a Wednesday or a Thursday show. I know me and the wifey are talking right now. I'm so excited because in regards to my evening gig that I've been doing these past couple of years, I'm pretty much getting ready to wrap that up. So I'm getting ready to go into my final week coming up this week, new week that we're getting ready to embark on. That's going to be my final week working for them, and I'm pretty much just going to be focusing on my side hustle jobs full time. I'm making more money. Not to mention, it's nice having the flexibility in the schedule But the money that I'm making on the side it definitely helps. But focus on that. Try to focus on fall that's coming up because, man, I'm so close to getting my degree. I'm very excited. So I want to make sure that I have as much flexibility with my schedule as possible so I can take X amount of classes that I need to take so I can wrap this up already. So I'm thinking maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday on top of the Monday Raw post show. We'll come back and have another show lined up for you guys. I do want to take this time out to recognize some of our sponsors for this show. Make sure you guys show them a lot of love because we appreciate them big time. Shout out to my guys over at justmovieposters.com. They got most items for $7 to $15. Shipping is extra, but man, to be able to hook up your man cave, your little hangout chill spot with some really cool posters, any movie that you can think of, they got a poster for it. And I tell you this, if they don't have a poster for it, they can definitely make it for you of great high quality as well. So look them up, justmovieposters.com. Shout out to my guys over at MyEDMed. If you're tired of paying all that money for VIAGRA and CIALIS, call the folks at MyEDMed at 1-833-693-3633. That's 1-833-693-3633. You can buy generic versions of these very same drugs and save loads money in the process while getting great results, the same great results in the bedroom. We're also brought to you in part by our friends over at the video game called Flood Escape. Check them out over at floodescapegame.com. Flood Escape Game, they need beta gamer testers, if you want to call it that right now, to join for early access in order to make the game as great as possible. Flood Escape combines shooter elements with a zombie mode as players are trying to survive to be the last one standing while fighting for their lives during a flood. Sounds like a fun challenge, doesn't it? If you guys are up for the challenge, if you think you can survive, check that game out today, floodescapegame.com. We're also brought to you in part by our friends over at Ancient Supplements. Check them out over at ancientsupplements.store. If you need supplements for great focus, clarity, boost of energy, maybe you're having some joint problems, aching back, they've got great supplements, all FDA approved, that will help you out at great affordable prices with a satisfaction money back guarantee. Check them out at ancientsupplements.store. We love working with all of these great sponsors. All of these sponsors that you just heard from right now, telling you straight up, without them, content like what you're checking out right now would not be made possible. Check out rcwrshow.com. I've successfully been able to migrate all of my articles from the 401 Mania site over to that site. We're going to start putting up exclusive new articles that you'll be able to read on that site effective this week. So bookmark it and visit it frequently as you can. We got shows available for you guys on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search the RCWR show. Want to give a shout out to you guys that checked out the show live. And those of you that's going to be checking out the show on demand and on the downloads. I'm wishing all of you all to be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. I'll see you guys Monday night, Raw post show. Take care, y'all. Peace.